Ladies and gentlemen, I am the War Boss Squee, bringing you episode 5 of our Shadowrun Returns playthrough. And in our last episode, we met Paco, rescued Coyote from being more mangled than she was when we found her, and brought everyone back to the Union, but not before shooting Steve Jackson repeatedly in the face. And I'm still laughing about that, to be completely honest. Now, we have returned to the Union, the Seamstresses Union, to go meet Mrs. Kabuto. Now, my capture program decided to crash on me a minute ago, so we're going to try this all over again here. Mrs. Kabuto is tending bar herself when Paco carries the mangled and bleeding Coyote into the Union. As soon as the boss lady lays eyes on her missing bartender, the place gets quiet fast. By the time she rounds the bar to meet you, Coyote is the color of wet spackle, and there's something new in her eye: fear. This woman is face down hellhounds, but the sight of Mrs. Kuboto has her staring at the floor and mumbling. Woman, how dare you miss 2 shifts then come back and bleed on my floor? I'm sorry, Mrs. Kabuto. I had a run that went bad. No shit. You look like Hamburger Lady. So Ka, I can see that. Your arm's a mess. Was this your crusade again? Do not answer. It will only upset me further. You caused me to worry about you, Coyote, and that distracted me from my business. Hey, Mrs. Kabuto, my apologies again. Cherry, take her downstairs to Dr. Castle. Yes, ma'am. And tell Castle to put something new and shiny where that arm used to be. Mrs. Kabuto, I can't afford a cyber arm. I am aware of your financial situation. When you are healed, we will discuss the concept of Giri, the debt of honor. Now go. Bleed elsewhere. Yes, ma'am. Now, it's important to keep in mind is that the Shadowrun setting was originally designed and envisioned back in the 80s, when it was believed that the Japanese economy and way of doing business and generally way of life was going to just completely take over the fucking world. A lot of Japanese aesthetic, a lot of Japanese language, and there's a reason why trench coats and katanas is something that gets used to describe Shadowrun quite a bit. Her anger at Coyote's rashness slowly washes from her eyes and is replaced by tears. She sniffs, wipes them away, and inclines her head to you. Domo arigato, War Boss. That girl is precious to me. It is not often that we see acts like these in the Barrens. You performed a great service for my little family, and I welcome you into my home. Consider it yours while your work keeps you here. But we both know that words are mere air. Beyond my thanks, I offer you this remuneration. Please take it as a show of respect. I am honored, Mrs. Kabuto. Thank you. You are most welcome, and I offer more than simple lodgings. You will find that there is more to the Union than meets the eye. Below us is a small facility available exclusively for discriminating independent operatives like yourself. In it, you will find vendors selling the best gear the black market has to offer, a fully equipped cyberdock, and a secure place to rest when the dreck hits the fan, as they say. My, you're quite the entrepreneur. Indeed. Normally, I require a percentage of the runner's income for the use of this facility, but as I said, you are family now. Consider it on the house. To gain entrance, play GAFFC on the piano. And if I still remembered my musical lessons from when I was younger, I would probably be able to tell you what that little tune is, but I cannot. Meanwhile, we have 15 karma to spend. Oh my god. So this needs to be dealt with. Alright, so we need to go down here. Let's see what we got. And this is actually going a lot smoother, thankfully. I think we'll buy that. Just some willpower. We're going to grab another thing of increased spellbook slot if not yet unlocked. There we go. So now we're down to 6 karma. Haven't been using the spirit control at all. I don't know if I want to bother raising that. But we are going to put some points into let's see. Additional weapon slot unlocked, and there we go. Range combat 3, pistols 3. So that uses up our karma. It comes fairly quickly, which is nice. So we're going to be a little bit better with our pistol. Our spells have gotten a little bit more punch, and we have additional slots for both. Oh yes, we are moving much nicer here. So much so, thanks to the new graphics card that we're actually going to. Here we go. HD textures are now on. Let's see how that works. And let me know if you can actually see a distance here. That would be nice. All right, who is this? Van Grass. Van Grass is busy talking on his comlink, checking his heads-up display and motioning to a runner standing nearby, all at the same time. He's an intense little man. You get the sense that he likes to look busy. I'm Van Grass. Make it quick. Biz is good. Talk to me. Mrs. Kabuto said you were a fixer. He still hasn't looked at you. He's going a mile a minute. Nothing for you tonight, sorry. I'm doing a thing right now. Important thing. Talk to you later. Oh, hey guy, one more thing. He covers his comlink for a moment. Tilts his head your way, but he's still staring at his heads-up display. I'm a fence too. If you got anything you need to unload, come see me. Alright. Well, I'm actually really glad that we are running as well as we are. This is, oh god, going so much more smoothly. Alright, so Johnny Clean. You got something to say, bud? Johnny leans on his seemingly brand new mop and God, it's the dialogue. Johnny leans on his seemingly brand new mop and surveying the crowd at the Union. No, it surveys the crowd at the Union. You had all the people checking the code and checking the art to make sure everything was good. Could you have gotten someone with a high school equivalent of the written language to double check the writing? Thanks for the tip the other day. Mrs. Kabuto said I should go to the safe house, but I don't quite know where that is. The piano is a little out of tune. Check it out. The piano looks like it's been here since the Union was built, but doesn't look like anyone has played it in earnest for almost as long. Play the tune. As you slowly peck the notes out on the keyboard, they spark a faint memory of wonder. Immediately forgotten as the entire piano slides to the left, revealing a hidden staircase. You descend the stairs into the Union safe house. Alright, fantastic. The entrepreneurial Mrs. Kabuto's combined anything a runner might need into a one-stop shopping experience. Black market equipment, high-end magical talismans, and a fully stocked cyber surgery dealership. Which is awesome. And these are just, I guess, random folks that are doing business with her. Hey, there's Paco. Hello, Paco. We'll get to this stuff in a minute. First things first, let's say hi to Coyote. Dr. Sarah Castle. Make it quick, I need to operate. And she's got a little spirit on her shoulder. I forgot about that. Thanks for helping me out back there. Looked like you could use a hand. Ouch, bad joke right now. She looks down at her mangled arm. I had to, folks. I had to. Okay, folks, I'm about to ask you to go sit in the waiting area. Watch some Tri-Vid or something. This young lady and I have work to do. Mrs. Kabuto never said what kind of cyber arm she'd pay for. I want something badass. Got one with a laser inside? That would be my first question. You'll take what I give you, lady. Now let's have a look at your face. Leave it. Excuse me? Coyote? I earned this face by being stupid. I'm gonna keep it. End story. Whatever you say, kid. With one swift motion, she sinks a syringe into Coyote's thigh. Nighty-night. And an indeterminate amount of time later. And she's been healed up a little bit, though they kept the scars, and apparently either fixed or replaced her eye, because judging from the original avatar, I figured that eye was completely gone. Coyote looks both better and worse since you last saw her. All the gaping holes are plugged, and she's sporting a shiny new cyber arm. But now that the adrenaline is worn off, it's clear she needs some rest. Good morning. Thanks to the miracle of modern science, combined with Doc Castle's magical healing powers, I'm almost as good as new. Better, really. Nice arm. Thanks. Mrs. Kabuto will have me working it off for the rest of my life. She knows your expression. You look like looks like you've got something on your mind. Well, I do have some questions. What kind of questions? About Sam Watts. Sam Watts? What about him? Sam's dead. Holy dreck. Sam. Can't say I'm surprised. He was on a downward spiral for a long time. What can I tell you? You served Sam the night he died. What do you remember about that night? It was a pretty average night. Regular crowd as I remember. Sam was drinking with a guy named Armitage. Jake Armitage? Yeah, you know him? Met him. He's a charmer too. She bites her lip. I like gingers. Oh, Paco! You're not even in the runnings there, sport. Anyway, Jake and Sam were having a few. Well, Jake was having a few. Sam was tossing them back, but good. Eventually he got loud, the way he sometimes did when he mixed drinking who knows what, and Mrs. Kabuto wanted him ejected. Mr. Clue wasn't around, can't remember why, so she asked Jake to do the honors. Jake dragged him out the back, into the alley, and that's the last time I saw Sam. He said he got loud. Do you remember what he was saying? She thinks. Standard Sam, Drek. How he grew up rich and didn't deserve this. How he hated his mother. How he loved his mother. It was pretty pathetic stuff. Tell me about Sam. I hear you liked him. I did. He made me laugh. No one else seemed to like Sam's jokes, but I did. No accounting for taste, Sam made some bad jokes. Not when he was sober. He was chill and funny. I guess I knew him the best of everyone here. Sorry he's gone. Now see, did Sam have any enemies? Oh, probably. Enemies, hard to say. Sam partied hard, and when he did, he ran his mouth off pretty good. Got his ass kicked on more than one occasion. But no, I don't think he had any enemies. At least none that I'm aware of. And where did Sam live? On the streets, mostly. He'd occasionally convince someone to let him flop on their couch, but he always overstayed his welcome and got kicked out after a few days. Sometimes I'd sneak him down here so he could crash one of the bunks. He used one the night before I saw him last. How about his drinking? If it was just the drinking, it would have been bad. But Sam wasn't the monogamous type. He dabbled in everything. Booze, chips, drugs. He loved the nitro. Whatever he could get his hands on. Yeah, nitro. A combat-enhancing drug that he was taking recreationally. It's like mixing, speed, steroids, PCP, and, the super soldier serum that got Captain America's kick. And he was taking it on a whim. It wasn't always like that, but once he got sick, he started using more and more stuff to try and forget about it. Sam was sick. He was dying, didn't you know? Yeah, everybody could tell. You just look at him and see he was a walking corpse. Had to be the drinking. Then he disappeared for a while, and one day he came back all better. Looked good, even. All better, just like that. He said his mom helped him out. Never said how, though. Thank you, Coyote. Now I need you two to do something for me. What do you need, babe? I need you to talk to Mr. Delilah about the Royale run. He's usually upstairs. Tell him I didn't get the gems. Maybe I can take another run at it when I recover. I will. Alright. So, Coyote's looking better. Got herself a shiny new arm. And we have some new objectives. Optional, deliver the stones to Mr. Delilah. Investigate Sam's bunk. And we have some other stuff we can do here as well. Meantime, come on. No bunks available. The bunk is a mess and reeks of booze. Searching through the sheets, blankets, and pillow, you find an old photograph that's seen a lot of wear. So take a look. Pictures of a blonde boy and girl, both about age 14, sitting on a dock on the edge of a lake. They appear to be twins. The boy has his arm tight around the girl's shoulders and is mugging for the camera. The girl is planting a kiss on his cheek while making rabbit ears behind his head with her fingers. Something back. Written in a woman's hand are the words Sam and Jessica at Lake Fuck You State Park, Summer 2040. There we go. Now then, there we go. I thought I saw something shiny sticking its little nose up. Let's see what we have here. Secure mage clothing. Oh, this is my stash. Nothing there I particularly need. So, before we go upstairs, since we're down here, let's see who's selling what. Alright, we have Algernon, he would be our mage. Eric Birchman, I have no idea who that guy is. And over this way, we should have David Fry. He does hacking and drones, I believe. And TB Gruberman, all about the guns. Theodore Buster Gruberman is a well-groomed orc, dressed with a precision that suggests the straight lines of a military officer's jacket. His hair is cropped short, high and tight, as they say, and the neatness this presents is only compromised by the uneven tusks protruding from his mouth. The only other defect to this picture of perfection is the man's cybernetic right arm, which is obvious enough to be noticeable, but not so obvious as to ruin the line of his suit. I do believe that this fella is another Kickstart backer for Shadowrun that got his character inserted. Don't quote me on that, though. When he speaks, the orc's voice is soft and thoughtful, and he talks. He doesn't talk. He speaks almost exclusively in numbers, calibers, ranges, rounds per second, arc of fire, razoring factor, tensile strength, and of course, price. Bunker Buster Grubberman at your service. Friends call me Buster. I also answer to Sergeant, Sir, and even Theodore on occasion. Anytime you're in the market for firearms, ammunition, or ordnance, I'm your man. How can I help you? Let's see what you got. Alright, so we have the Fischetti Security 500, which is a low-power pistol. What do you have that's an upgrade for me? Well, repair kits for drones, basic med kits, grenades. Some of the same drones I could have gotten downstairs. Let's see. Oh, here we go. The most common gun in the shadows. Everyone knows at least one. The Cessna Black Scorpion. Same amount of damage, same range, but fucking damn over double the capacity. Yeah, I'll take one of you. At least I won't have to reload quite as often. And for that, we will sell our current pistol. And so, basically, we get this one at half price. Alright, I always like to have my pistols first, so there we go. There's that. I have 2 slots for spells, another slot for another weapon, which may or may not be worth it. Alright, and we're done with you. And over to the nice gentleman here, who should have some new magic for us. Past the bar, the edges of the safe house become a somewhat indistinct... Hold on a second, please. Past the bar, the edges of the safe house become somewhat indistinct due to the magical haze surrounding a particular elf. The man seems only half of this realm, his mind wandering the far horizons of astral space while his body peddles his otherworldly wares. Good evening, young elf, and welcome to this humble home that we call the Union. I am Algernon Half-Dream. To ease your way through the sixth world, I offer you the best of magical foci, spells, and fetishes for the conjuring of spirits. Alright, see what you got. Now, the great thing about magic is that if you have the potential to use magic, at least there's 2 types of spellcasters. You have your hermetic mages and your shaman. The shaman get their spells basically by dealing with the totem spirit that gives them the power and will teach them spells, if I remember correctly. Whereas for hermetic mages, it's like a science. You want to learn a particular spell, you basically study the formula of that particular spell and learn how to do it. Let's see, they got all kinds of cool stuff here. Alright, we want Lightning Bolt. Definitely. Let's see, we have armor. How many upgrades though? Heal Wound might be good to spell magic. Aim. Oh, fuck it. You're gonna... Lightning and fire, baby! It don't get much better than that. And there we go. I now have a spell for every occasion. What about this guy? I don't remember what he sells. Change your clothes, change your life, right? Not only will you look better, not that you look bad now or anything, but each one will help you keep an eye on the right side of the ground. Keep you on the right side of the ground, take a look. Okay, more outfits. I'm not as big a fan of these because it's not just armor that you get, but it actually changes how you look. So. And there's not really anything new here, I don't think. Yeah, the Secure Shaman is what I was wearing before. Now I've got the Thaumaturgic armor. Alley Punk gives me 4 armor and plus 3 hit points. It's a little bit expensive, but yeah, there's really nothing here I want. So, alright. We're not dealing with the Decker guy at all. Although I might be able to buy some cybernetics. I don't know how that's going to negatively impact my magic, though. The two don't mix. Magic and cyber, not a great mix. Jake Armitage gets away with it because he's literally a special snowflake. In Shadowrunner circles, the term doctor is used quite liberally to describe any sawbones with a needle and thread. But in the case of the Union's resident medical expert, nothing could be farther from the truth. The safe house boasts a fully equipped medical suite, complete with shamanistic fetishes. This is sixth-world medicine of the highest caliber. The doctor herself is an unassuming sort, perhaps the type to go unnoticed entirely if not for the sprightly spirit perched on her shoulder like her own personal gargoyle. The spirit's burning eyes follow you constantly, even as the doctor's own eyes are buried in her charts. However, she does look up long enough to acknowledge your approach. I'm Dr. Castle. I understand you were instrumental in bringing Coyote back to us. Thank you for that. And I suppose you're the one who patched her up. Impressive work. Thank you. It's a shame she wouldn't let me repair her face, though. As soon as you eyeballing the facilities. I can tell you're surprised to find a full-service med bay under a dive bar in the slums. Don't be. This is a Shadowrunner bar, after all. For a purveyor of cyberware and trauma kits, there is no better place to set up a practice. I patch runners up, install and maintain their cyberware, and provide medical supplies for their runs. I may not be as mobile as Doc Wagon, but I'm the next best thing. Can I help you with anything? Let's check the cyberware. Alright, so this will actually lower your essence. If you hit 0 essence due to cybernetic upgrades, you die. Now we have things like a data jack. It's a requirement for riggers and deckers and those that want to use a smart link system. Cybernetic legs, hit points and bonuses to quickness. You can lace your bones with plastic to make them a little bit tougher and harder to break, which gives you +1 body. Dermal plating, which is just basically they bolt armor plates onto your body that are just built in. +2 armor. Vision magnification eyes, +3% chance to hit. And a Silvertech cybernetic arm, which is +6 hit points. Yeah. Nothing really there, but I see shamanistic fetishes. Are you a shaman as well? While modern medical technology makes surgery less disruptive than it used to be, it is still an ordeal for both the body and the spirit, requiring extensive recuperation to properly heal. I am trained in the ways of the spirit world as well as the scientific world. I do my best to heal the whole patient. Let's see. And the thing on her shoulder, this little guy supports the healing rituals I perform on my patients after surgery, dramatically reducing their recovery time. Not standard procedure, of course, but the results speak for themselves. Alright, now I can buy medical supplies, which I don't really need. I can buy trauma kits, which I believe are the bring them back to life deals. Yeah. So if you're bleeding out, you can get them back on your feet. So medical supplies and trauma. Alright. Now, I don't know if using cybernetics in this game will lower your magical ability, because basically there's a cap. You can't have more magic than you have essence. So if you have essence 6, your magical ability can go up to 6, which is a basic rating. So if you lower your essence to say 5.9 out of 6. You lose the equivalent of a full point of magic if you have it, and you cannot raise your magic above 5 without undergoing special rituals, so I don't think we want to mess with that. Mr. Delilah. Mr. Delilah looks small and tough with an untraceable shoddy on his back and a heavy vest under his trench coat. He's got the air of someone who gets things done and occasionally does them himself. He might be an ex-runner, one of the rare smart ones. One of the rare ones smart enough to move over to management when he felt his reflexes slowing down. What do you want? Mr. Delilah, we have business to discuss. What business? I got no business with you. We're with Coyote. She's indisposed at the moment. Mention of Coyote, he finally gives you his full attention. Why didn't you say so? Coyote is late. My client is getting anxious. Where is she? Downstairs, trying on a new arm. Your run went south for her. She's getting stitched up. She's downstairs in the med bay. Got her arm torn off on the job. No kidding. Well, whatever. She's tough. She'll pull through. So who are you two? Warboss and Paco. Great, we're all introduced. Now give me my stones. Let's see. We can give him all the stones. Hold back the best stone to give him the rest. Hold back the pebble with the runes on it and give him the rest. Thing is that I don't want to screw over Coyote. This was her job. So, in an instant, there's a jeweler's scope on his eye. Moving quickly through what appears to be the best valuable stones, he stops when he finds what appears to be an ordinary pebble inscribed with Hebrew characters. That's the one. Okay, you done good, but you're late. Coyote knows that. In this case, late equals no payment. But I'm feeling magnanimous tonight, so you guys can keep the rest of the stones as your reward. Deal. Listen, you look like the sort of man who might run a crew of your own one day. Might need some talent. When that happens, you come to me, I'll set you up. And now we can hire people. Looks like you impressed him. I know a fence for those gems. Van Gas, follow me. Oh my god, the running around and the bouncing and the craziness. Oh, it's this little fella again. Charisma 3, I can see you're a busy man. That's right, and so I wouldn't bother you if I didn't come to possession of these rare stones. Rare stones, huh? Let's see these rare stones. You hear the Suros and Van Graff's cyber eye whirl as magnifying lens slips into position. He bends his head over the stones for 2 seconds, maybe less. What do you get this Drek? A gumball machine? I'll give you 1,000 for him. If I had more charisma, I could make a better deal. If I had more strength, or if I had etiquette academic. But since we don't, we will simply take the 1,000 and go about our day. Done. Give me your cred stick. Now, what is it that we need to do here? Oh, I haven't met all the black market vendors, and I need to go back to Coyote. Okay, so we shall do both. Come on. And this is mostly just a little bit of make work, bouncing around and whatnot. It's all about atmosphere. Okay, Coyote, we'll be with you in just a minute. We need to talk to the hacker guy, because I believe he's the only one we haven't spoken with. We might actually get some karma out of talking to all these guys, I don't know. Every inch of the tech alcove is covered in a chaotic patchwork quilt of circuit boards, chips, wires, displays, and a million other things you can't identify. In the eye of this techno-bit storm stands a dwarf, immaculately dressed and supremely calm. David Fry II. I know that look. Don't let the size of the shop fool you. I get any Matrix hardware or software that exists, and if it doesn't exist, then I can get them made for you. Any questions I can answer, or any gear you need. Yep. Don't need nothing. Oh, I'm being rude. Also, let me also introduce you to our resident decker, my good friend Johnny Clean. While in the same overalls you saw him upstairs, down here leaning over a workbench crammed with circuit boards, cables, and chips, Johnny Clean seems a totally different person. You get the impression that Johnny was once as hot and as invisible as the most infamous deckers today. Good to see you down here. Happy to be a help if I can be. Why are you dressed as a janitor? Did I stand out upstairs? No, janitors never do. When I was younger, I had a rep for getting in and getting out of systems so cleanly that no one knew I was there. Half the Matrix runs that earned my rep were made possible because I was able to get inside the facility posing as janitor. No, it's just sort of part of me. Is it true that you're part of the Echo Mirage team? Let me take this one. Listen, I've known the guy for over a decade and he's been smart enough not to tell me. So he is sure as hell not going to tell you anything about those days. For your health and his, better let the subject drop. And later, guys. Echo Mirage was a team of government black hat hackers that basically stopped the internet AI from basically pulling a Skynet, to put it simply. A little bit more complicated than that, but that'll do. You're back. I think the highlights of the Wolves game will be on soon. Want to take a load off and watch with me? Found something in the bunk that Sam was using. Yes, great. What is it? A photo. Did you know Sam had a twin sister? Yeah, I did. You mentioned her once or twice. Didn't sound like they got along that well. He was rambling on about her the last time I saw him. By that point, he was completely gone. I couldn't really follow what he was saying, but he sounded miserable. The comlink chips. No, my comlink chirps. And the screen shows the smiling faces of Officer Aguirre. If he's smiling, it must be about money. Officer, what a pleasure to hear from you. Yeah, we're buddies. Let's go dancing soon. Listen, the Ripper got another one. The victim worked at the NTSB investigation facility down on the docks. You owe me for this. I need to see that now. Better get here quick before McCluskey arrives. The image on your PDA dissolves as the call ends. Another Ripper murder. Where? The docks. I gotta go. Okay, listen, I want to help. You dragged me out of the Royale before something bad happened. Worse than getting my arm torn off, and Sam was my friend. You head to the docks and I'll see if I can track down Sam's sister Jessica. She might be able to help us. Thanks, I appreciate it. I'll see you when I get back. Alright, so our objective is to take a cab to the warehouse. So, do I have to go upstairs and all the way up back out to the waypoint? Yes, I do. Son of a bitch. Alright, well. We got ourselves some new spells. We got ourselves a gun with a bigger magazine. I think we're ready to tear some shit up. I don't really want to talk to you right now, darling. Take a cab to the South Seattle docks. Confirmed. And while that's loading, I'm going to grab a soda real quick. And since it takes a while to load, we'll be back in just a second. Alright, the South Seattle docks. Leaving the Seamstresses Union behind, you head to the docks. The Ripper killed Sam. And maybe he or she slipped up with his latest victims, left some useful evidence. Only one way to find out. South Seattle is your typical industrial area. Grit, grime, and gray. The rain doesn't help matters any. Layers of dirt mixed with abandoned wooden pallets repurposed into makeshift furniture for the day workers. Garbage collects in the gutters of the broken down street. Disreputable is this district's middle name. Your destination, the National Transportation Safety Board warehouse, is located on a small strip of dock towards the less maintained end of the waterfront. Despite the presence of those who linger in such places, it's quiet as you approach the gate. Now, sorry for that brief break in between dialogue there, but I had to start coughing out for a minute. This actually loaded a lot faster than I thought it was. It literally took about a minute. So here we are, and our objective is to get to the warehouse. Oh, we got somebody to talk to here, a streetwalker. Yes, also known as a prostitute. Hey, you looking for a good time? Know anything about the NTSB? Yeah, the bums around here have been stealing old crap from that place for years. Not worth my time now. So, halt! And that Lone Star guard's wearing freaking combat armor. Jesus. The guard looks bored. He toys with his gun absent-mindedly like he might shoot something on a whim just to watch it die. Hey, you're about to trespass on corporate property. You looking to get dusted, street scum? If we had etiquette security, we could freaking just talk our way through this. I'm working for Lone Star on the crime scene investigation in the NTSB warehouse. I'm looking for my kitty cat. Here, kitty. I'm the new maintenance guy. This is my first day. Let's go with the first one. Sure you are. And I'm Lawford, the King of Dragons. Beat it. That would have been a common approach anyway. So we know that we can't get in this way, but we do know that the bums have been helping themselves in and out. So let's grab ourselves a ladder. Hey, that's mine. Who raised you? A pack of wolves? That there ladder's rightfully mine. Not taking it far, I just need a little boost over the fence. Oh, you're breaking into the warehouse too? If you see any of them airplane blankets or pillows, snag me one. Hey, no problem, man. Now, where do we put our little ladder? This part's a little bit confusing. This is actually a fairly decent sized map. We might be able to just run around here. Now this is as far as we can go over here, so it's got to be up this way. Okay, that's where we want to go, right there. The question is, how do we get over there? I'm guessing not in front of the Lone Star guy with the gun who's just looking to shoot somebody to watch it die. I don't see any other way in, though. Oh, I clicked on the gate and it told me to go over here, so... I'll admit, I'm confused, kids. Because I have a ladder doesn't mean I know how to use a ladder. And it doesn't tell me anything. Mission item. Oh, okay, apparently the ladder is not a mission item, so... How the fuck do I get over this thing? Let's ask the streetwalker if she knows where they've been breaking in from. Oh, we can just bribe her to go take care of the guard. Hey, you looking for a good time? Not me, a friend of mine. You need to have some fun with the guard by the fence around the corner. Alright, 20 bucks buys you a 5-minute distraction, then I gotta get back to work and earn some real money. There, that way I don't have to dick around with... Oh, now it gives me a freaking... That's what I need to do. I need to distract the guard, then use the ladder. Okay, that's actually rather clever. That's a big gun you have there. And standard issue, man. Man, we got some karma. Alright, cool. Before we go inside, is there anything that we can steal around here? I've actually not really examined this place too much, to be honest. Hello. I see some valuables that somebody was kind enough to leave out for us. Let's see. Concussion grenade. And a phosphorus grenade. Oh, those are nasty. Packed with phosphorus, this grenade explodes, causing an additional -4 HP for 3 rounds. Send that to the stash. I do not want freaking a phosphorus grenade running around in my pocket. I might have an urge to use it. Alright, so. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, you're about to transition to a new location and confirm. Alright, so this is actually going rather well. The warehouse. Inside the large gray warehouse is as typical as the outside. High ceilings adorned with girders and rickety catwalks. Tops a huge utilitarian room. Concrete and steel walls meet a concrete floor. This is a place for storing things and nothing more. Despite the quiet outside, the inside is a hornet's nest of Lone Star officers going about their business. In the center of the activity is the Emerald City Ripper's latest victim. With uniforms everywhere, no one stops you at the door. It seems that this case hasn't leaked to the press yet. Lone Star or no, you've got a job to do. And there's our favorite detective on the take. Took your sweet time, didn't you? You know traffic these days. Fill me in. We had time to go over the evidence while you were en route. Turns out this might not be a Ripper murder after all. I left the computer on in the office over there if you want to see for yourself. The victim worked here at the NTSB warehouse as a black box researcher. A National Transportation Safety Board. This warehouse is used to go over the records from plane crashes to try to determine what happened. The Vic was in charge of the highest priority investigation at the moment. We've gone through the victim's computer and his case notes indicate he was selling secrets. Idiot kept records. Scientists don't make good criminals. Tell me about it. Some runner like you probably often to cover up his court master's involvement tried to make it look like a Ripper killing. Here's the office key. Check it out for yourself if you want. Alright. Got all kinds of stuff down here. And our favorite corner, Dresden. We'll get to him in a minute. Alright. First things first. Alright. Oh, we got something in the locker over here. Always look for valuables. We're a runner and theft is second nature. This appears to be the victim's locker. The door is slightly ajar. Inside you see several of the dead man's personal items. Suspect a toothbrush. Still wet from being used. It smells of mint and cigarettes. Suspect the comb. Black plastic has some wire with your hair stuck to it. And leave the locker. So that... I don't know what the hell that just did for us, to be completely honest, folks. The researcher's work cyber terminal has been left on, presumably by the Lone Star investigators. Let's see, case number 95. Federated Boeing jetliner IDN number 2305, corporate owner Ares. Plane had several mechanical issues resulting in a mayday at 3:04 a.m. on June 17th, 2053. At 2:45 a.m., pilot reported the altimeter was reading in the negative values, and at 2:49, the co-pilot takes over the controls as the pilot leaves the cabin to investigate the rear of the plane. 2:54, the pilot cannot be contacted or located by a plane steward. 3:04, the co-pilot radios in a mayday, and then at 3:12, the pilot crashes into an empty field in western North Dakota. Which means that the pilot jacked up his plane and then freaking bailed out because he was probably being paid to assassinate somebody on board. So we got case number 96. And it's been redacted to hell and back, which is also another Ares plane. And this file has been corrupted. It appears that the notes that appear on screen pertain to NTSB case number file 96, the crash of an Ares jetliner near the UCAS and Sioux Nation border. Yes, the Sioux have their own nation. Apparently one of the great things about having a biological plague that kills, let's call it, 3 out of 5 people across the country is that those on the reservations tend to be fairly isolated. And so there, for a while there, is a lot more of them than there were of everybody else. And when you added magic to it, when the Sioux Nation puts their head together and says, hey, U.S. government that's currently falling apart because of the massive death toll, yeah, this whole area, this is ours again, and if you fuck with us, we're going to basically start lobbing fireballs that can blow up tanks, you tend not to argue with them any. The crash is reportedly the result of an equipment failure. Reading further into the investigators' notes, however, we find substantial evidence linking the crash to an experimental Renraku research initiative. The information could be worth a great deal to the right buyer. You download the researcher's notes to the PDA. He was selling secrets and it got him killed. We'll sell his secrets for him, folks. We're a Shadowrunner. It's not that we're a bad guy per se, it's just that we're opportunistic. Alright, Dresden. What you got for me, buddy? War Boss! Surprised to see you here. Let me guess. Officer Aguirre tipped you off? Suppose you must have made an impression on him at the market yesterday. Or your cred stick did at any rate. He chuckles. Anyway, surprise! We got another Ripper victim on our hands. Looks like business is good for Dial-A-Morgue these days. Ha! Yes indeed. The victim's male, mixed Native American descent, age 38. Based on the condition of the body, it looks like he was killed around 2 in the morning. Cause of death, unknown. Several internal organs were removed from his body after death, quite gruesomely. I'm not sure if the killer even knew what they wanted before they started cutting. Not much else to tell you yet, really. He does have a lot of pre-existing scar tissue, so he probably had a major surgery at some point in recent history. Unfortunately, with the organs gone, I can't determine the nature of the surgery. Nice hole where his chest was. So, what was on the butcher's shopping list? Well, the The killer definitely took the lungs. The more I look at it, though, the other missing organs may just be eviscerated within the chest cavity. It sounds like the Ripper is taking a different trophy from each victim. Sam's liver, this guy's lungs. Any theories? Sorry, I don't do theories. I'm just a scientist who happens to prefer dead people. However, while there are massive damage in the chest cavity, I can see that the victim's lungs were transplants, which is interesting since another victim's missing heart was also a transplant. Granted, modern medicine has made organ transplants relatively easy, but it's an odd coincidence. But as a scientist, it's just that, a coincidence. This is only the third body I've personally examined. One of our other branch managers handled the other two. If I find more evidence that the victims had organ transplants, I'll let you know. And who's the nice lady with her hands outstretched? No clue, she just showed up next to kin, I think. Is McCloskey getting any closer to a suspect? McCloskey couldn't find his ass with both hands. Don't tell him I said that, though. Yeah, because he's a giant orc, you're a little dwarf, he'll step on you. And Officer Aguero doing on the case seems to be like a real go-getter. Aguero would love to solve it before McCloskey and get his gold detective shield. Plus, he'd like to see McCloskey suck it in front of his superiors. He already tried to bribe me to keep information from McCloskey and slip it to him. I'm inspired by their tireless pursuit of justice. Did you take the money? He grins from ear to ear. Do you have any idea how much this job pays these days, sir? I don't think Aguero's officer's salary is going to do much to seduce me into helping him. Good luck out there. I love Dresden. Shannon Half-Sky. You're not a cop. She looks up, watching you warily. I'm independent. What's your relationship to the dead man? The suspicion in her voice and eyes departs almost immediately when the subject turns to the deceased. He's my brother. I've been trying to speak with him, but I'm afraid his spirit is just too disoriented by his recent journey to answer me. You're a shaman. Yes, for all the good it's doing me. If I could just make contact, I might be able to deliver justice and allow my brother's spirit to rest. I can tell you're used to shouldering a heavy burden, but maybe there's an easier way. She looks at you, the flattery largely failing to affect her given the circumstances, but then inspiration dispels the dark clouds surrounding her. Perhaps. My brother's spirit is too weak. That's a given. But my brother's spirit may not be alone here tonight. She closes her eyes and concentrates, droning a low chant you can barely hear. Yes, there are others, other spirits who may be of help. Her features harden in frustration as she's searching for something that remains elusive. Sighing, she opens her eyes and fixes you with a stare. But I can't do it alone. What do you need? This warehouse contains the spirits of plane crash victims trapped between worlds. They wish to help. They wish to be heard, and I think they have something to say about my brother's murder. Lone Star won't let me in there, but you seem to have the run of the place. If you can find personal items that belong to the victims, I believe I can summon a spirit to speak with us. I'll need at least 2 such objects. Can you find them for me? Of course. It's like my entire ability to speak as a human being just went completely to shit. Alright, so we want to get in that locked area over here, but first let's double check. What we got here. Alright. I really don't want to examine the urinal. You don't need to go right now. The old poster depicts a svelte young woman posing with an assault rifle. Okay. Aguero, let's have a talk. This is a corpse core hit. Why did the evidence on the computer? Good catch. The information is probably worth a fortune if you found a buyer. Well, he's not trying very hard, is he? The door is locked, but you might be able to bypass it if you get under the maintenance panel. Okay. So, where is the maintenance panel? This is the part where being a decker would actually be useful. Maybe if I look at it again, I'll be able to tell me something. I don't know. Nope. Ah, here we go. This was previously a locked door, I believe. Come on. Oh my goodness, look at all this stuff. There's a large pile of old shoes on the ground next to the airplane seats. They could be discarded luggage or possibly the shoes worn by the occupants of the plane at the time of the crash. Let's dig through the shoe pile. Sorting through the shoes, you realize there are 3 shoes with no matching pairs. A left blue sneaker, a right red high heel pump, and a left black dress shoe. Let's look at the sneaker. The sneaker is a child's and has musty, sweaty smell. Oddly, you get a sort of shock as if from static electricity when you touch it. This must be one of the items the shaman was looking for. Take the shoe. Dress shoe is nothing, and the pump is knockoff of an Italian brand. Alright. So I guess I got lucky the first time with that. And over here we have... I have no idea. It's hard to say whether this heap of items and refuse recovered from the plane crash are simply trash that hasn't been taken out yet. Well, let's dig through the trash and see what we got going on here. A sticky substance of some sort seems to have seeped through the trash pile, and your hands are quickly covered with the stuff. After searching for a minute, you unearth a handful of interesting items. So inspect the earring. Made out of burnished steel formed in the shape of a small salmon. Salmon? An intense primal fear washes over you to touch the surface. This is supposed to be one of the items the shaman was looking for. Alright, we'll take the earring. A dented tin lunchbox that's seen better days. And a cred stick. 200 Nuyen. Awesome. Alrighty, I think we've got everything we need here. Since I don't have a decking building, I think this entire area is completely locked off to me. Meanwhile, the shaman should be able to do her thing. Come on. It feels as though you have found enough objects. Yes, here they are. You hand her the objects you found. She closes her eyes and chants over them for a time. When her eyes open again, they're filled with tears. Thank you. These items are all I will need. It shouldn't take me long to... The hell is all this? It's McCluskey. You asshole. Officer Aguera trails after the detective, only meeting your eyes for a minute. She's the victim's sister, sir. This is a crime scene, officer, not some Salish drum circle. Hey, that's racist. Isn't it standard procedure to contact next of kin? That's her brother. It makes her a business. Watch your tone. She's in mourning. We'll go with this. Ma'am, consider yourself contacted? Now get the hell out. Come on, if we stay much longer, I'll be liable to do something I'd regret, or worse, something I'd enjoy. What an ass. So we are now locked off from the crime scene because McCluskey's jackass and this had to show up and just shit all over everybody's good time. That man is an ass. She stares daggers at McCluskey from across the warehouse. Now, here's the important thing. If I throw a fireball or a bolt of lightning or something at you, you can see that. It's visible to the normal eye. If she just wanted to make the guy's head explode, she could do that. Nobody would see it. Never, ever piss off a mage if you're not a mage. But there's no helping it now. I should just be grateful you're able to collect those items for those clods carted everything off. We still summon the spirit. Not from here, I'm afraid. Spirits such as these have domains to which they're anchored. We need to get back in there. Not looking good now, but do you have any plans for this evening? A little breaking and entering, perhaps, under cover of darkness. Are you sure up for this? It may be a rabbit hole, but I have to get to the bottom of it. Whatever your reasons, I thank you. Now, since we have the time, we should probably enlist some help. They may post security overnight. And we'll go out on a limb and say you know where to find the kind of people we need. The best, just smile. Yes, just smile. Good. I'll put up the money if you find the body. She produces a handful of crumpled Nuyen from inside a leather pouch, starting to count it out, then shoves the whole wad at you. Meet me back here at midnight. The spirits will be strong then. All right. So that handles that. As you start to leave the warehouse, your comlink chirps. Now it says chirps, and the face of Coyote pops on the screen. Hoi, boy boss. Are you in the middle of something? Just getting jerked around by Lone Star. Same old thing. I hear you. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I was born in the Royale. BTL pushers like CVJ ran the squats, ran my world when I was growing up. I remember. Whiz. I have a cousin, Gino, who's been missing for months. He hit the sprawl about a year ago and immediately fell in with some tweakers, bad guys. They hooked him on high amp dream chips and started using him for all sorts of dreck. I tried to help him, but he pushed me away. Then he disappeared. I've been shooting at BTL Labs ever since trying to find him. Yeah, she's basically like Chick RoboCop. She's awesome. I'm guessing you have a new lead. It's not a lead. Her face lights up. She's running hot. Has a serious edge. I know exactly where he is this time. Got an old friend who eyeballed him herself. I'm on my way. Paco's with me, but we could use another hand. You in? I need you right now. I'm on it. I knew you'd come. I'll send you the address. See you soon. All right, so we've made some headway. Not as much as I would have liked because I've forgotten a couple of the steps involved. I haven't played this game in years since it originally came out. But Coyote's Crusade, a cluster of dilapidated buildings where Coyote told you to meet her, appears to be the remnants of a public housing project. The buildings look like a cesspool filled with human debris. You find her standing with Paco on a street corner, eyeing the roofs, the doorways, the windows. Despite his attempts to engage her, Coyote barely says a word as the three of you weave your way through the tenements. She walks purposelessly, her new cyber hand flexing open and closed with each step. It's unclear whether the action is voluntary or not. You circle around the back of the building, and Coyote jumps up, grabs the bottom rung of a fire escape ladder, and pulls it down. Without a signal, she starts her climb towards the roof. Paco looks at you worriedly and starts up the ladder. And we're going to leave it here, folks, to be picked up in 2 days for Thursday. So, a little bit of a cliffhanger, so to speak. If you liked the video, please hit the like button down below. That would be awesome. Leave a comment if I'm screwing things up or if my pronunciation is complete shit. My Japanese is pretty good, but my English, obviously, I kind of stumble at times. I have a stutter, so I'm working on it. Anyway, folks, it's been a blast. I'm glad that the game is running better now. It looks much better than it was before. We don't have any stutter or anything like that. The graphics are good and clean. Everything's running smooth. So a big shout out to my buddy Psych. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. And tune in tomorrow. Pokemon. It's going to be a thing. Adios.